My name is Brady Noski.
And I'm Austin Morales, and you're watching The Inner Gamer On.
And today we'll be talking about how Google Stadia is closing its internal studios and focusing exclusively on just the platform itself and getting external publishers to help them out. And Jade Raymond, one of the co-founders of the Assassin's Creed franchise, is leaving to go do other things. So a lot of is happening with Google Stadia. Does this mark the end for Stadia? Let's discuss right now.
Hooah! And as always, if you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and bang that bell, because we know you want to. Thanks.
Where there's not value, though, is in Google Stadia. Because Google Stadia has come out and announced, according to PC Gamer, that they are closing their internal studios, and Jade Raymond, who everybody may not know, was the kind of the creative director person involved for creating the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is really awesome. And she was hired to come over to help start up the Stadia game development studios. And Google has announced that they are shutting down their in-house operations, and they're going to be, quote, giving their focus on building on the proven technology of Stadia as well as deepening their business partnerships. We've decided that we will not be investing further in bringing exclusive content from our internal development team beyond any near-term planned games. Over the coming months, most of the team will be moving on to new roles. We're committed to working with this team to find new roles and support them. And they're still going to be having their free basic service and their subscription-based Stadia Pro offering, but the focus going forward will be on helping external developers and publishers take advantage of the technology, which Harrison said is the best path to building Stadia into a long-term sustainable business that helps grow the industry. So this is going to affect roughly 150 developers that recently left their jobs in the last 2 years to come and work on this new exciting thing called Stadia. And now they're shuttering it after like literally 2 years of development. Yeah, this is
Anthem was a company thing. Like this would be it. I mean, it's just surprising that it still exists for this long. And I know they've really like tooth and nail tried to make this work. And it's sad, but it's just so funny. And it's also horrible because, yeah, these people like, gah.
Yeah.
And people have brought up like Google just being like, here's this cool idea. And then whoosh, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they have the capital to keep it going. But it's like, who are the brainchilds behind this? And who let this come out? Well, I'm sure Google has a big hand in it, and other people who are providing them capital are probably like, we got to get this out right now. We got to start making money. Money. I mean, you're trying to develop something new and exciting. It's going to take freaking time, and you can't just charge people out the ass to get this stuff. Like, this is where you like bite the bullet and take some hits financially to get this out there to many people and let it grow, and eventually it will be something.
I mean, it's not. So what I understand you saying is that it's expensive investment to get into Stadia. Yeah, because I don't think it's expensive, but
you have to buy the controller, and you have to have. Isn't there a dongle with it? You have to get.
I mean, you can plug in your laptop or your television that's got like Google Chromecast or something built into it. Yeah, I mean, you do have to buy like a dongle thing if you want to like just have it like freely or whatever. But I mean, it's like $100.
Wasn't the controller like
it's like $79? Yeah, it's like a standard controller price. I mean, it's not.
Did you have to buy the games on top of the subscription service?
Yes, some of them, not all of them, but some of them. Yes,
it's $100. Okay. It is $100 to get Stadia Premier Edition, which you have the dongle or the Google Chromecast and the controller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not horrible.
Right. But the problem that I have with Stadia is that they're putting this product out here and expecting people to abandon their already established communities that they play on to join Stadia to play the same games that they have on their other platforms. And I mean, there's some value in doing it. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, yeah, I could play freaking Destiny like from my laptop anywhere I'm at, maybe for like a hot minute. But that's not like a thing that I'm going to do exclusively. It's just like with Switch. They were smart enough to realize that some people are going to want to sit at home with their dock plugged in to play the game on the TV, but then they can also take it with them, and those options are available to them. But there's also a lot of exclusive games to the Switch that you can only get on the Switch. So that's why you buy a Switch. I'm not buying the Switch to play freaking Doom. Like, that's dumb. Like, I'm going to go and get Doom on the game where I'm going to get the best experience, on the console where I'm going to get the best experience. So, like, the fact that they're killing this internal studio and not making exclusive games to Stadia, I mean, I don't want there to necessarily be exclusive games to Stadia, but the only way I feel like their business model can succeed and thrive is for them to have things that you can only play on Stadia. Other than that, what's the point?
Exactly.
'Cause, I mean, yeah, you can like get high quality graphics, assuming your internet's good, you know, for it to stream properly. And I mean, I could see this, you know, for kids and stuff like that. But again, it's not like the whole library of Xbox, which with Xbox, I mean, you can buy your kids a freaking Xbox One right now for a couple $100 more than this, and give them a subscription to Game Pass, and they have a freaking billion games to play.
So
and they don't have to stream it.
To get all the peripherals, or not peripherals, but the controller, the Chromecast, a year subscription, it's $10 a month. It's $120 or $220. But the reason I say it's expensive because it is a gamble, and you know, off the bat, everyone was super excited about this, and it was like, man, this could be revolutionary. You can do all this stuff, and then everything started coming out. It's like, well, there's all these bugs and things, and people, you know, are investing
Some of the
early.
features weren't in there yet.
Yeah, and it's just it immediately became a gamble of like, you jump into this, and if Stadia goes under, you lose all of those games that you potentially could have bought, and
you've bought them on this platform.
Yeah.
Which is
they're going to
not
go
transferable.
Away.
Yeah,
exactly. And so that was the main issue. Is like, technically it's not expensive, but it's a gamble. And if you're willing to make that gamble, fine. But yeah, you could buy a $300 Switch console, and you're going to keep that with you for at least 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And you can keep all those games on there, and eventually, I'm sure they'll be able to transfer over to the next.
You know
big,
it's going to work too, because
Exactly.
Nintendo, and they have established pedigree. And I mean, you know, Google can do things, but like, this is a new startup product that they haven't like brought out before, and their pedigree is that they start things, they see if it works, they realize it doesn't work, and they kill it. Google Plus, Google Flow, I think they had at one point, Google something. It was another social network that they tried. A lot of Google products have been started and halted like very quickly.
Oh yeah,
because they've just poorly managed them, and this is one of those things that was poorly managed,
and people are just waiting for it to be killed. And it's just so sad that, they hyped it up very well, enough to sell some products, but not enough to keep it going.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Yep. So rest in peace, Google Stadia. I think this is the beginning of the end.
Yes, it is. Hey, props to them for continuing to push forward, but
no, I don't want to give them props.
It's like Anthem.
They made a lot of just dumb
it.
decisions with that product that should have been more obvious. It's like, I mean, get an exclusive game on there. They're one of their first like exclusive games was an indie title, which is awesome. I love indie games, but that's not gonna push your hardware. I mean, just like back when Ouya that I bought into on Kickstarter that bombed, that was the same kind of deal. Like, it had a great promise and stuff like that, but if the biggest game that they had on there was Towerfall, that was their biggest like exclusive game, and then that ended up doing obviously better on other consoles and hardware.
Yeah,
but they weren't able to get enough to ramp it up and make it what it could have been, because it was a bad decision, business models.
That's right.
The Atari console that's coming out is going to have the same problem. Guarantee it. It's going to come out, all this promise of like it's a family friendly console and stuff like that. I'm like, that's great, but you have Nintendo Switch for that. So what market are you fitting yourself into?
Exactly.
And it's going to cost $300 or something like that. It's like, no, nobody's going to buy that.